Hello everyone! Welcome to another week of English. For today's lesson, we will learn about grammar and vocabulary. For the first part, grammar, the topic will be 0, Type 1 and Type 2 conditionals. 0, Type 1 and Type 2 conditionals. For this lesson, please refer to the Full Blast textbook, page 59. Let's go to the first section, 0 conditional. For this part, you may refer to your textbook, page 162, 162. Now, what is it about? General truth or kebenaran. 0 conditional are sentences which talk about general truth. When you open your textbook, page 162, you may see this table, okay? The first part of the table is when you use the word if or when, plus the present simple or something real happened, okay? And the main clause will be the present simple, which is the result or truth of what happens. So this is a simple formula that I have created to try to help you to understand this conditional better. Let's see for the first section. So what is if or when? And for the first part, you always start the sentence with if or when. Okay, the second formula is something real that happens. Okay, keadaan yang akan berlaku, kebenaran. So for this example, your situation will be press the button. Okay, if you press the button. Now, if you press the button, what is the result? What will happen when you press the button? Yes, the machine starts. Alright? So, if you press the button, something real happens, the machine starts. Or, when you use the word when, the sentence will be when you press the button, the machine starts. Alright? So, 0 conditional are sentences that talks about truth. 0 conditional adalah ayat yang menyatakan kebenaran. Okay? So, the truth in this sentence is that the machine starts. Why? Because you press the button. Now, let's move on to the second part. Conditional sentences type 1. Okay? Conditional sentences type 1. For this section, you may refer to page 163, 163. Alright, what is conditional sentences type 1? These sentences are a possible condition and probable result. Keadaan yang mungkin berlaku dan hasil yang mungkin terjadi. Again, this is a formula I have created for you to better understand it. For the first part, if plus something possible happen, sesuatu keadaan yang mungkin terjadi, plus the result, hasil yang mungkin terjadi dari keadaan yang berlaku. If you refer to your textbook, you may see that the if plus present simple and the main clause will be future will because the condition may happen, so you use will, or modal verbs which consist of can, may, might, must, and should, and the last one imperative. Alright, so let's see the first part of the formula, if. So all your sentences start with if. Plus, alright, a possible condition that may happen atau keadaan yang mungkin berlaku is I see James, or you want a pet, or you go to the supermarket. Okay, this is something that may happen, sesuatu yang mungkin berlaku. Sebagai contoh, Anda melihat James, ataupun Anda ingin seekor haiwan peliharaan, ataupun Anda pergi ke kedai runcit. Alright? So the result of this situation for the first one, if you see James, if I see James, what will I do? The result is, I give him his book back. Alright? So this is a possible condition. If I see James, kalau saya nampak James, I'll give him his book back. Saya akan pulangkan buku James. The second part, if you want a pet, okay? The result is, you must promise to take care of it. Right? The third part, if you go to the supermarket, the result will be, you buy some milk. Now let's move to the next section, conditional sentences type 2. For this section, you may also refer to the same page, which is page 163, muka surat 163. Now, what is conditional sentences type 2? These sentences are a hypothetical condition and its probable result. Keadaan yang tidak mungkin berlaku, hypothetical, dan hasilnya, and its probable result. Again, using the same formula I have created, if plus something impossible, sesuatu keadaan yang tidak mungkin berlaku, plus the result, hasilnya. For example, if plus past simple plus would or could plus infinitive. For example, the sentence is if. So you start with if, or you can put the if here. Something impossible happened, like what? Like winning a lottery, or went on a diet. Yeah? So if I won the lottery, or if you went on a diet. Okay? Now, what is the result of winning the lottery? Yes, I would buy a farm in the country. Or, if you went on a diet, the result will be you could lose some weight. Now, always remember that conditional sentences type 2 are sentences that are hypothetical condition and the probable result. Keadaan yang tidak mungkin berlaku dan hasilnya. Whereas for conditional sentences type 1, right? Type 1, these are possible condition and probable result. Keadaan yang mungkin dan hasil yang mungkin terjadi. Now let's look at the summary of all the conditionals we have talked about today. For the first one, 0, and then type 1 and type 2. So the conditionals here, you may use the word if or when. And the situation for these conditionals are different. For 0 conditionals, you only talk about truth, kebenaran. Whereas type 1 conditional, you talk about possible situation which will happen, keadaan yang akan berlaku. Whereas type 2 conditional talks about a hypothetical situation, a situation which may or may not happen, sesuatu keadaan yang mungkin atau tidak mungkin berlaku. And the result for all this situation is depending on the type of situation. Now let's move to your grammar exercise. You may refer to your textbook page 59. When you turn to your textbook page 59, you will see this column. Now please copy this in your grammar book. You don't have to copy this green box. Just copy the questions and write down your answers. Anda tidak perlu salin kotak hijau yang ini. Jika Anda mahu, Anda boleh. Let's start by reading the question. Rewrite the sentences starting with the words given. So the first question, Tina doesn't play a musical instrument, so she can't be a member of our band. Now, if you were to rewrite this sentence, which conditional would you use? Type 1, type 2, or zero conditional? Yes, you may refer to conditional sentence type 1 because this situation may happen. So when you rewrite the sentence, it will be, if Tina played a musical instrument, she could be a member of our band. So the sentence in conditional type 1 means that when the situation happens, the result is Tina can be a member of our band. For question 2, people get thirsty when they don't drink enough water. Now, which conditional can you use for question number 2? Yes, for question number 2, you will use zero conditional because these are the truth. So, you may write, if people don't drink enough water, they get thirsty. True or not? Yes. So the truth is, when people don't drink enough water, they get thirsty. Question 3. We won't buy the CD if it isn't on sale. Rewrite the sentence by starting off with the word unless. Which conditional are you going to use? Yes. So, when you rewrite the sentence will be, unless the CD is on sale, we won't buy it. For question 4, I'm not able to sleep because this bed isn't comfortable. Yes, you use conditional sentence type 1 for question 4 because it is something that may happen. So you may write, if this bed were comfortable, I would be able to sleep. Okay? For question 5, play music with a strong beat. Otherwise, people won't dance. Correct. For this sentence, you may refer to conditional sentence type 2 because the situation may or may not happen. For the first sentence, you can write, if you don't play music with a strong beat, people won't dance. So this situation did not happen. Okay? And if the situation happen, you can write, if you play music with a strong beat, people will dance. Both answers are acceptable. Alright, now we are done for the grammar exercise. Now let's move on to vocabulary. The topic will be synonyms. Okay? Synonyms. For this, you may refer to your textbook page 60, 60. Now, what are synonyms? Synonyms are word or phrase that means exactly or nearly the same as another word or phrase in the same language. Synonyms in Bahasa Malaysia is also synonym, okay? For example, shut is a synonym of close. Admit is a synonym of confess. As you can see here, there are other words which are synonym to each other. For example, and finish, fast and quick, enjoyment and fun, assist and help, begin and start, buy and purchase, old and ancient, beautiful and pretty, quiet and silent, rich and wealthy, rest and relax, round and circular, sad and unhappy, scared and afraid, embarrassed and shy. Now there are so many words which are synonyms to each other which you can look up online. Let's move on to the vocabulary exercise which you can find on page 60. Now again, please copy this in your grammar book. For the first question and second question, the words will be popular, famous, popular, famous. Now these two words mean known by many people. Both the words mean the same thing. Let's look at question 1. Hip-hop is probably the most type of music at our school. Now for these two words, you may only use one. One word may fit one sentence. Now can you think of the answer for question 1? Yes, the word is popular. Hip-hop is probably the most popular type of music at our school. As for question 2, my cousin is in a band, but they aren't very. So the answer for question 2 is famous. My cousin is in a band, but they aren't very famous yet. Now let's move on to the third, fourth, and fifth question. The words are common, usual, normal. Common, usual, normal. As for these three words, they bring the meaning of something often done. Okay, sesuatu yang kerap berlaku. Let's read question 3. Last night I had my Friday night dinner of fish and chips. Now can you guess the word for question number 3? You are right. The word is usual. Last night I had my usual Friday night dinner of fish and chips. Let's move on to question 4. It's very for the school president to be the best student at the school. What do you think the word is for question 4? Common. Yes, the word is common. It's very common for the school president to be the best student at the school. Moving on to question 5. For victims of crime, it takes time for their lives to return to. The word for question 5 is normal. For victims of crime, it takes time for their lives to return to normal. Let's move on to question 6, 7, and 8. The words are include, contain, involve. Include, contain, involve. These three words mean to have something in. Alright? These three words are synonyms to each other. Let's read question 6. Does that price, accommodation and meals? Can you guess what the appropriate word is for question number 6? Yes, you use the word include. Does that price include accommodation and meals? Question 7. Being a writer, spending a lot of time in front of a computer. What do you think the word is? Yes, the word is involves. Being a writer involves spending a lot of time in front of a computer. Let's move on to question number 8. They opened the box to see what it contained. Alright? You use past tense in the word contain here because they opened past tense the box to see what it contained. Past tense. Moving on to question 9, 10, and 11. The words are grow, grow up, bringing up. Grow, grow up, bringing up. The meaning of these three words or phrases are undergo a natural development. Question 9. When my brother, he wants to be a football player. Can you guess the appropriate word in question number 9? Yes, the answer is grows up. When my brother grows up, he wants to be a football player. Moving on to question 10. Our neighbor, vegetables in his garden, and they always taste great. Now can you guess the answer for question 10? Correct. The answer is grows. Our neighbor grows vegetable in his garden, and they always taste great. Moving on to question 11. My grandmother had a difficult life as she had 5 children. What word do you think is appropriate for this question? What word do you think is appropriate for this sentence? Bring up. Yes, my grandmother had a difficult life as she had to bring up 5 children. Now let's move on to question 12, 13, 14, and 15. The words are same, similar, like, alike. Repeat again, same, similar, like, alike. These words mean equivalent. Alright? Question 12. In the UK, teens start voting at the age of 18. It's the in Ireland. What do you think the word is? Yes, the word is same. In the UK, teens start voting at the age of 18. It's the same in Ireland. Question 13. George and Thomas are twins, but they don't look. What do you think the word is? Alike. Okay? George and Thomas are twins, but they don't look alike. Question 14. Can you hear that? It sounds a wolf, but they don't live in this part of the country. Correct. The answer is like. Can you hear that? It sounds like a wolf, but they don't live in this part of the country. Now, moving on to question 15. I like hanging out with Kelly because we have interests. What do you think the word is? Yes, the word is similar. I like hanging out with Kelly because we have similar interests. Moving on to questions 16, 17, and 18. The words are lively, alive, and life. Lively, alive, and life. These three words mean alive and not dead. Question 16. I forgot to feed the fish at the weekend. Luckily, they're still. Can you guess the word in this sentence? Yes, the word is alive. I forgot to feed the fish at the weekend. Luckily, they're still alive. Question 17. I've got all Coldplay CDs, but I've never seen them perform. Do you know what the word is for question 17? Live. Correct. I've got all Coldplay CDs, but I've never seen them perform live. Moving on to the last question of the day. Question 18. The youth club is a place on Saturday evenings. Yes, the word is lively. The youth club is a lively place on Saturday evenings. Alright guys, don't forget to copy these exercises into your grammar book. I'll see you again in the next class. Bye bye everyone.